What if Trump just gave Russia its hardest hit of the war and didn't even mean to? No new sanctions, no public threats, just one move, a sweeping tariff war that sent oil prices crashing. And with them, Russia's economy. Now, in the chaos, Putin is scrambling to plug holes in a war budget that's bleeding money by the second. Hey, if you're done with globalist nonsense and ready for straight talk, subscribe to America's Geopolitics. Now let's break it down. Trump's tariffs were about reshaping America's economy. They were about bringing back steel, auto parts, pharmaceuticals, and forcing companies to make it here or pay the price. There was a side effect that he didn't see coming. Global trade took a hit, a hard hit. And when global trade slows, oil demand drops. It's simple economics. Fewer goods, fewer ships, less energy being burned. Oil tanks and prices plummet. OPEC hasn't been able to stop this, not with production cuts, not with price floors, not even with desperation. The market saw the writing on the wall. They know America isn't playing by globalist rules anymore, and that ripple is affecting every oil-producing country on Earth. Now here's the problem for Putin. Russia isn't just a country, it's a gas station with a flag. Oil and gas make up about 40% of their budget. Some years it's even more. Every time oil drops $10 a barrel, Russia loses billions. That's not political spin, that's baked into the numbers. And with the war in Ukraine dragging on, military costs have exploded. Missiles, tanks, drones, logistics, it's nuts. The Kremlin thought it could ride high on energy revenue, but now they're pulling cash from emergency reserves just to stay afloat. Meanwhile, inflation is high, the ruble is surging, Western tech imports are drying up, and the social welfare programs that keep Russian people quiet, they're being slashed. Putin doesn't just have a military problem, he has a fiscal collapse in slow motion. Here's the twist. Trump wasn't even targeting Russia. The tariffs were about building a self-sufficient America, making it harder for China to flood the market, for Germany to undercut our car industry, for Big Pharma to dodge accountability overseas. But in going after global trade, Trump clipped the lifeline Russia depends on most, energy exports. This is economic warfare without ever calling it that. It's more effective than most sanctions, because it doesn't just punish Russia, it rewrites the rules they depend on. No warning, no negotiation, just a new reality. What we're seeing right now is a geopolitical wake-up call. The world's been addicted to free trade for 40 years, and countries like Russia built their entire budgets assuming America would always be a buyer. But Trump just pulled the plug. Factories are coming back home, tariffs are back on the table, and America's no longer subsidizing everyone else's economy. The result? Even if you're not on Washington's radar, your country still bleeds when the global system shakes. Putin's discovering that a little bit too late. And you know what? China's probably next. For decades, Russia played its energy card like a king. Need gas? Talk to Moscow. Need oil? Hell, buy it from the Kremlin. They used to bully Europe to fund invasions, to shield themselves from Western pressure. But now, America is walking away from that whole game. We're building the American fortress, and Russia, still clinging to pipelines and oil prices like it's 2005. The future doesn't belong to countries that export crude. It belongs to countries that can manufacture, secure supply chains, and protect their economies from the chaos. Trump didn't aim at Russia, but the oil price crash his tariffs triggered might have done more damage than any sanction ever has. And the lesson here? If you're still betting on the old global system, you're already losing. So if you want to keep tracking the collapse of the world you thought was permanent, subscribe to America's Geopolitics. Drop a comment and tell me, did Trump break Russia by accident, or is this all part of a much bigger plan? This is Frank. See you next time.